On France 24, papers time. Of course, we're going to concentrate just on one story today. That news of Marine Le Pen's court ruling dominating the press today, both here in France and abroad as well. Dipty's been looking through it all for us. Dipty.
Well, Stuart, as you've been reporting, as we've all been reporting, the far-right leader has been convicted of corruption with a 5-year ban, notably on running for public office, meaning she's most likely going to be ineligible to run in the 2027 national elections here in France. Now, one word from La Croix, the Catholic paper in France, ineligible, that word indeed, noting that this is a huge shock for the National Rally far-right party in France, and that it could also throw those 2027 elections into disarray. Now, in its editorial today, La Croix really says that, make no mistake about this, this is an inherently legal decision, even if it has huge political ramifications. The ruling, the paper reminds us, is based on texts and laws that were voted on years ago. And the paper particularly is alarmed by the response from the far right, notably Jordan Bardella, who has said that French democracy is being executed. La Croix reminding everyone today that the justice system is for everyone without exception. Now, from some of the left-wing papers today, this is from Libération, big bold print there, coupable or guilty, it reads on its front page. And the communist paper L'Humanité has a different slogan. It says here, dirty hands, heads hanging low. It's actually a take on the slogan of the National Front Party, the previous name of the National Rally. Their slogan back then was clean hands, heads held up high. It reads today, dirty hands, heads held low, according to L'Humanité. And in its editorial, the communist paper calls Marine Le Pen's conviction a victory for democracy and for the state of law, and also slams those reactions from the far right and from what it calls the, quote, Bolloré media, a reference to the French media magnate Vincent Bolloré, who is very close to the far right. The paper saying also that the far right, for their part, are denouncing what they call a conspiracy against them.
Now, you mentioned the conservative media, Dipty. Take us through their reactions today.
Well, you have this here from Le Journal du Dimanche. This is a weekly paper here in France that is actually owned by that man I just mentioned, Vincent Bolloré. This paper here calling the court ruling on Monday as the day that destroyed Marine Le Pen's presidential destiny. The paper also laments what it sees as 20 years of her career being, quote, annihilated by one legal decision. From L'Opinion, another right-wing paper, they call it a political earthquake, going with this front-page cartoon here from the paper's cartoonist CAC, where you see Marine Le Pen being nailed to the wall by the hammer of justice. And in its editorial, the paper also warns of what it calls a moment of great democratic danger, and says that this legal decision really risks to paradoxically serve to feed populism in France. And finally, you also have Aujourd'hui en France, Le Parisien here headlining on shockwaves, saying that it could also transform Marine Le Pen's right-hand man, the president of the National Rally Party, Jordan Bardella, into a valued asset of the party.
Yeah, he's just been on French radio, actually, denouncing the judge's tyranny, as he put it. There's lots of focus on him in the international press.
Absolutely. Who is he? How did he rise to power to popularity so quickly? This picture here is a computer-generated image. Stuart, it's not an actual Barbie doll of Jordan Bardella. Politico notes that Bardella has weathered nearly a decade in politics without losing his luster. I quote, he's polished, composed to a fault, with boy next door good looks and a carefully practiced smile. He's a TikTok sensation and the only politician on the list of 50 most popular personalities in France compiled by a French newspaper. His popularity and the rise of the far right represent a potential sea change in European politics, Politico says. And the Telegraph also focusing on Bardella, saying that the French right will survive the banning of Marine Le Pen, and also once again pointing to Jordan Bardella as a potential successor. He is, quote, slavishly loyal to her. However, his youth could be a hindrance to his political ambitions, in any case, if one day he were to make it to the Elysee Palace, well, then the greatest irony would be that the first president of the party is the son of immigrants.
Yeah, we shall see. Looking forward to seeing that Marine Le Pen Barbie. In any case, far